For every strange task out there that needs doing, there's someone who's willing to do it and cash out. From things as gruesome as crawling through a sewer to unclog pipes, to things as mundane as buying clothes for celebrities, there's pretty much a paying job for everything these days. Here is our list of crazy jobs that people actually have. Hey guys, this is American Eye. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy that video. Number 16. IMAX screen cleaner. IMAX screens are huge, and you can bet those things inevitably get dirty and dusty. Theaters hire IMAX screen cleaners during the off hours with special screen cleaning equipment. Layers and layers of dust will come off in large ropes, which will definitely improve the image. IMAX screen cleaners can earn up to $50,000 a year if they work full-time. Number 15. Game tester. When it comes to dream jobs, playing video games is ideal. They're often referred to as quality assurance testers and often clock nearly 80 hours of work every week. Playing video games as a job sounds leisurely, but the reality is a little bit more taxing. Like many office jobs, it involves trading emails, attending meetings, and filing away bugs and glitches in the games they test. It is similar to a normal office job, except the product being created is a video game. This job can pay anywhere from $10 to $18 an hour, so it is still a pretty decent job if you're willing to put in the work. Number 14. Vomit collector. When people who are faint of heart get onto thrill rides, there's always a chance that they may have a reversal of fortune, aka vomit all over the place. Some parks have hired specific janitors and clean up other people's vomit. At Thorpe Park, they have a very serious stomach-churning ride that causes a bunch of people to throw up all over the place. So they hired an on-staff pew cleaner who spends most of the day underneath the roller coaster waiting for someone to make a mess. Number 13. Professional bridesmaid. Weddings can be just a huge pain to plan, coordinate, and execute for not just the bride and groom, but also the people they know. There's a reason why people pay wedding planners to do it for them, but a few people have started taking that wedding help to the next level and will not only help you plan your wedding, but will also fill in as a bridesmaid in your wedding party. Professional bridesmaids can make up to $1,000 per wedding and upwards of $30,000 a year. But to some brides, it's worth every penny. Number 12. Pet food taster. Let's just admit it, plenty of us have been tempted to try and eat the same food our pets have eaten, but only a few would actually do it. There are some people who will actually eat it, and they make some serious guap doing it. A dog or cat food taster working for a pet food company can make as much as $40,000 a year. All they have to do is take little bites of kibble and wet pet food. These testers take note on the taste and the nutritional content, but usually opt to spit out the food rather than swallow it. In addition to trying the food, they also work with cooks and scientists to engineer better tasting. They want to also make it better smelling and more nutritious as well. Number 11. Professional cuddler. For upwards of $60 an hour, you can visit people in their homes and spend some quality time cuddling with a stranger. While this might seem a little bit sus, there is really nothing fishy or sketchy about this. Professional cuddlers offer their services to those people that just crave physical attention and intimacy of cuddling with someone in their bed. They might also share some of their problems with them too. Often in these intimate situations, a professional cuddler also serves as sort of a therapist for their client, hearing out their problems and complaints about life. In Japan, you can even visit cuddling cafes instead of having to make an in or out call for one. Cuddlers need to be attentive, caring, and ready to listen, but they can also make some serious money. They just have to be okay with having a job that they probably shouldn't mention to their family. Number 10. Personal shopper. For those who are way too rich and busy to shop for themselves, there are some new trends out there to hire a personal shopper. Often the clients range from people like busy executives, musicians on tour, and celebrities. These personal shoppers pick out the newest and most stylish clothes on their clients' list and will go through the trials and tribulations for shopping for them. Their job isn't just to buy stuff that's pretty either. They have to understand their client's taste, body shape, sizing, and the occasion for which they're shopping. It can be a bit of a stressful task that involves a lot of walking, running, and hauling heavy bags of clothes around. There are even agencies that have a fleet of personal shoppers for one to employ, so you don't have to go and seek out a personal shopper yourself. Celebrities like Kim Kardashian, Ariana Grande, and even The Weeknd have been known to send out personal shoppers while on tour and when they just can't make it out themselves. Number 9. Chicken sexer. No, this job is not what you think it is. In the industry of chicken raising, their gender is actually really important. Female chickens can obviously lay eggs, so those are the ones you want to raise and make eggs, while the male ones, you can usually turn those into meat. Trained professionals are actually paid to pick up newly born chicks and distinguish their sex. In order to do this, a chicken sexer will pick up a newborn and squeeze the chick until it has to pee. They then take a quick peek at the gender of the chicken and mark it with some kind of label. They have to do this relatively quickly, picking up a newborn baby chicken every minute or so. Number 8. Host clubs. In a super busy metropolitan city like Tokyo, it can be very easy to get lost in the grind of working. Often salarymen, executives, and allegedly yakuza use their hard-earned money to pay for people to hang out with them. As a host or hostess, your job job is to cater to the client's needs and make them feel special and wanted and generally entertain them. Essentially, host get paid to go on dates with their clients at the clubs and are hired by the lonely, busy rich. Most of the time, this means sitting with them at the table, eating a meal with them, sharing a drink, and acting as a friend. Number 7. Professional ear cleaner. When a doctor specializes in surgery regarding the ears, nose, and throat, they are known in a professional capacity as an otolaryngologist. Often the kind of surgery this sort of doctor does is ear extractions, cleaning out impacted or dried earwax, pus, or cleaning out large infected masses. In India, you may find professional ear cleaners in the streets. It's a dying profession, but you may still find those workers offering their services using small tools to get into people's ears and pulling out dried earwax. Either way, you should really try seeing one of them because shoving a cotton swab in your ear doesn't really count. Number 6. Worm hunter. Fishermen still use live worms as a part of their bait, and someone has to find those worms. Do you ever wonder where those worms come from or who actually finds them? That's where professional worm hunters come in. They walk around in damp, grassy areas, anywhere from forests to gardens to neighborhood parks, and go searching for the glorious earthworms. In order to help locate worms better, some hunters sprinkle chlorinated water into damp dirt, which forces those worms out of their burrows. Seems like some truly grubby work, but at least they're paid good. The salary for a good worm hunter can be anywhere from $17,000 to $44,000 in the US. Number 5. Food stylist. There is no secret that foodie culture is really big right now, and that photos of food are as pervasive on the internet as gifs of cat. Whenever you search the internet for a photo of food, every image you find is a perfectly manicured version of that dish. Someone got paid to make sure that food looked good, better than it does in real life. From Instagrams to magazine spreads and Food Network shows, someone needs to style that food to make it look like a work of art. Being a food stylist can be a pretty lucrative job too, especially when you work for companies like Martha Stewart Living or the Food Network. They can earn as much as $60,000 a year. Number 4. Food trend predictor. Ever notice how every restaurant seems to have a new dish whenever a certain food comes into vogue? When everyone wanted avocado, all the restaurants had fresh guac and avocado toast. When acai was declared the new superfruit, suddenly you can get an acai bowl on every block. Someone gets paid to predict these food trends and helps build menus and new dishes for the biggest restaurants. They're officially called a food trend predictor or culinary trendologist. These expert foodies can predict what new dishes will be the best and tell restaurateurs what dishes they should make and stay relevant for the fast-moving culture. Number 3. Crime scene cleaner. After a gruesome crime has been committed and the investigators and other authorities have already come by to collect all the evidence they need, all that's left to do is to clean up the mess and try to get things looking like they used to. This is where a crime scene cleaner comes in. They're not just normal housemaids and janitors, they go through specific crime scene cleaning training and also wear protective gear. On a normal day, they may have to remove body parts, guts, blood, and may put in more than 16 hours a day for their job. You can bring in around $50,000 US each year for cleaning up the crime scenes. Number 2. Oshia. Many people in Japan commute without the use of a car, opting for walking, biking, or public transport. Over 3 billion people a year use the Tokyo bullet train system in Japan. This makes it one of the busiest subways in the world. Many of people try to ride these trains every day, and especially during rush hour, personal space is non-existent. There are railway attendants known as Oshia that actually help pack these riders in like sardines. They walk the platforms of the subway in Japan and literally push people into the train. It's not uncommon for a single car to be over at 200% capacity. These human sardine packers are usually students working the job part-time for 1,000 to 13,000 yen an hour. That's roughly 9 to 13 US dollars an hour. And number 1, sewer unclogger. It's kinda hard to think of a job worse than wading through other people's crap, but someone's gotta do it. Often these workers wade through sewage that is chest high or higher, and the city of New Delhi doesn't even provide them with any protective gear. These sewer uncloggers wade through these infectious waters in nothing but their underwear. The unsafe working conditions causes a high rate of death, with almost 70% of the workers dying on the job. While this practice was technically banned in 1993, the work does still need to be done. You know what that means. Workers will continue to do it. But first, we'd like to thank our subscribers for leaving us all these great comments recently. Be sure to hit like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe we'll feature you in an upcoming video.